Good morning. How is everybody today? Thank you for attending. It's Sunday, November 26, 2023. And I'm going to read you a little story, continuation story. Good afternoon, Maria. I'm going to read you a continuation story about Thanksgiving. And Ben has joined us today, Benedict Michael, very strong name and individual. And I also ask that we pray for Anne, who's struggling, as we all do at times. So what we had talked about earlier was the Thanksgiving feast celebrated in 1541. And though there was that one, it was never commemorated afterward. In contrast, for some years after the Thanksgiving feast of 1598, a feast was celebrated by the Spanish and the Catholic Indians of New Mexico in thanks to the true God for bringing them through many hardships and for God's blessings. Today, this Thanksgiving feast is commemorated in San Juan on the 30th day of April every year. It is only now that we can turn to the story of the Pilgrims and their Thanksgiving. After a long and harsh winter, the Pilgrims received help from the Wampanoag Indians in planting crops during the spring of 1621. They worked hard and in autumn had a very good harvest. In November of 1621, they invited the local Indians, who were still pagan and worshipped false gods, to feast with them and give thanks to God for the blessings of a successful harvest. The Catholic student of history should recognize that it is impossible to give thanks to the same God, let alone the true God, when those involved believe in different gods. But this apparently didn't bother anyone. The event was not celebrated yearly by the Pilgrims, as many think, nor by anyone in the original 13 colonies for years. Though George Washington called for a day of Thanksgiving while he was president, it was not celebrated as a yearly holiday feast until Abraham Lincoln established Thanksgiving Day as a holiday in November. So now we know that the Pilgrims did not celebrate the first Thanksgiving in America. The Thanksgiving feast was celebrated back in 1598 in New Mexico by Spanish Catholic colonists and Indian converts to the Catholic faith. They thanked the true God for bringing them safely through many troubles and dangers, and for the fact that the seed of Deum Jesum Christum's word was beginning to take root. Because of the often anti-Spanish and anti-Catholic prejudice of English-speaking Protestants, generations of Americans have never learned this fact of our history. So, like always, there's truth, and then there's truth. So, actions make things happen. So I will be heading back to New Hampshire today, and we'll have Mass in the morning, regular time at the chapel. And I appreciate all your prayers and thanksgivings and your donations. So let us begin with morning prayers. And let us place ourselves in the presence of God and in Catholic contemplation humbly adore the Trinitarian Theophany. Most holy and venerable Trinity, one God and three divine beings, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O God, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank God for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to the Trinitarian Theophany. O God, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, O God, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of God the graces which are necessary to us. O God, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, O God, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O God, Our Lady, O Holy Mother of God, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress and my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O my God, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because I have offended thee, my God, who art good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, oremus. O God, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hoc immaculatum hostium, quam ego indinius famulus tuus offedi tibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro innumerabilibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed pro omnibus federibus, cata locorum vivis aquae defunctis ut mihi elidis proficiedat salutem. Deum qui humanae substantiae dignitatem mirabilit condidisi et mirabilis reformasti de nobis spiritus aqua divinum stium, eis divinitatis esse consortis qui divinitatis nostrae, fieri dinatis es patriceps Deum Iesum Christum filium qui tecum vivit et renat, in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem saetaris tuum de peccatis clementium, ut in conspecto divinae majestatis tuae, pro nostra et totius mudi salute, cum odore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipiam te Deum Iesum Christum, et sic fiat sacrificium nostrum et consuetuto hodie, ut placeat tibi Deum matronum nostri et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni Sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et benedicit oblata prosequendo et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini preparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas, hanc oblationem quam tibi afferimus, a memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum matronam nostri et Papa Pete Sanctorum, et istorum et omnium sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem ad salutem, et idi pro nobis intercedere, din inter in celis, quorum memoriam agimus in telis, per indum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate ut me mac vestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat apud Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum, sacrificium de manibus tui, sed laudam et gloriam nominis sui, ad utilitatem quoque nostram totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud te, surusum corda, habemus a Deum, gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te egitor clementissimi, Mater et Pater, Deum Matronum Nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum, Filium Tuum Deum Nostrae, supplices, rogamus ac petimus, uti accepte esse benedicas, ex sanctam sacrificium ilibata. In primis quae tibi afferimus, pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam, catholicam, quam pacificare custodire ad honore et regere, digneres toto orbe terrarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorumque tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Anne. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive strength and guidance and financial help to complete the Sedevacantist Catholic office and monastery of Illinois. We pray that people arrive home safely in their journeys from Thanksgiving, the first Catholic Thanksgiving, that we might remember that Thanksgiving is one holiday for God. We pray for Benedict and for Mark Jr. and those suffering from injuries not of their own doing. We pray for this knowledge to get spread throughout so that everyone understands the best healing is natural healing. We pray that there comes an end to all governmental allowance of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child sex trafficking, child abuse, human trafficking of any kind. We pray that all negativity ceases and people turn to the Trinitarian Theophany and OurLadyIsGod.com. All this we ask in accordance with God's holy and divine will. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognita est et noto devotio, pro quibus tibi afferimus, vero qui tibi offerunt hoc sacrificium laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione anam aurum suarum prospe salutis et inculamitatis suae, tibique redunt vota sua aeterno Deum vivo et vero. Communicantes et momone venerantes in primis gloriose semper Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrum torum Papae Sancta Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meritis, precibusque concedas, ut in omnibus protectiones tuae muniamur auxilio per Ionum Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblationem te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibum, consecratum acceptabulum quae figeri dineris ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat didictissimi Filium Tuum Deum Iesum Christum. Qui pridie quam pateretur recepit panem in sanctus ac venerabilis manus suas, et derivatis opelis in caelum ate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens. Consecravit, fregit didique luminis sui dicens accipite, et manducat ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simili modo postquam ceremonias Accipiens et hunc preclarum calicem in sancta sacramentablis manus suas item tibi gratias agens, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Consecrave dedique luminis sui dicens accipite et bibite exo omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum. Et quod escumque feceritis in me mona facietis. Unde et memores Deum nos servitui, sed plebs tua sancta iustem Christum filium tuum Deum nostre. Tam beate passiones nec non et in fedis resurrectionis, sed et in celos gloriose ascensionis. Offedimus preclari majestatitudi tuis doni sactatis, supra quae propitio auxerium futur respicere digneris. Supplices terragamos Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iube hic preferibemus tuum, ut quod, executaris participationes sacrosanctam Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinum sincerimus, omni benedictione celestia gratia Dei per amor per in Christum Deum nostre. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Tom Arrigo, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibum in Christum crescentibum locum refugere lucis et pacis, ut ando geste proclamor per innum Christum Deum nostrum. Per quem hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bono creas, sanctificas, vivificas, benedicis et prestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est ibi Deum Matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea, Matronam Nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea Matronam Nostrae, Matram Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis, peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quesumus, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis, praeteritis presentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata et gloriosa semper Dea Matronam Nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitiis pacem in diebus nostris, ut opi misericordiae Tui et vitae et peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbationis seculi. Per innum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivet et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum, et quoque apate, ecum extio consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat accipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, quoque apate. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum Matronam Nostrae, quoprante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem Tuam unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacro sanctum corpus et sanguinum Tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me Tui semper in harare mandatis, et ate numquam separare permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostre et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis serena maternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius sumere praesimo non mihi proveniat in judicium condonationem, sed pro tua pietate prosit mihi et tutum edem edese corporis, et ad mediam principiandum qui vivis serenas, cum Deum matronam nostre in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. In panem celestem accipiam et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum matronam nostre non tundinius, ut in Jesu te meam, sentantur verba sempiternam mea. Deum Iesum Christum non tundinius, ut in Jesu te meam, sentantur verba sempiternam mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non tundinius, ut in Jesu te meam, sed tantum de verba sempiternam mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Quid retribuam Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus queritud mihi, calicem salutaris accipiam in nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo. Laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostri et ab inimicis meis salvus ero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuam. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuam. We're going to do your first Holy Communion soon. Cordore Sanctimus Deum Iesum Christum puramente capiam et timuna et temperae fit nobis remedium sempiternam. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum, quod sanguis quem patave hera visceribus meis se presta, ut in me non remenia scella la macula quem pura sancta revicino sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te. Oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O God, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, ite missa est. Deum gratiam. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequiem servitutis mei et presa ut sacrificium quod oculis tui majestatis in unus auctoritibus et tabre mique et omnibus pro quibus irut octolicite miserante perpetuavit persum Deum nostrum. Benedicat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam nostre, Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. Thank you for attending, and good morning, Jeannie and CJ. How are you? As well as Maria, of course, and CW, and Mike, and everybody who will be watching later. Thank you for coming, and thank you for my beautiful granddaughter for attending. And Ben is ready for breakfast. Are you ready for breakfast? Yeah. Okay. And coffee. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Please go and sanctify all those who you meet. We've got lots of things on the platter, so we'll keep you posted, and we'll get them done. Doing is getting there. See you tomorrow.